接下来呢，那我们是由 Paul 来要为大家介绍一下 Symfony， 是叫 Symfony 吗？对，Symfony。那这是一个 PHP 的 framework， 所以前一个人在讲 PHP， 后面就有人要上来聊这个东西啊。那
做了很多例子单。
对，那其实今天我本来不太知道 Symfony 是什么，就是小弟知识浅薄啊。上网一查，其实台湾蛮多人有玩过，然后写心得的哈。那先 Paul 要跟大家介绍一下 Symfony 这个东西，然后而且它会有现场 demo。那各位知道，我们一直都有一个非常良好的传统，就是never like demo， 所以我们大家集气一下嘛。那希望说 Paul 可以在等一下可以顺利的完成一切的东西。那我们掌声欢迎一下 Paul。
大家好，因为我国语不好，如果要用国语讲话，讲1个小时半，会用英文主讲。不过沟通方面可以用国语，谢谢。My name is Paul. I'm from World Transit. We are one of the internet service provider in Malaysia. Basically, I'm taking care of the system stuff, security stuff, and the web applications. And we love open source. Almost everything we are running on open source platform, from web server, operating system, mail server, DNS servers, and everything. Even like network monitoring system that running all our network from different regions are using open source as well. Today I'm going to talk about the Symfony Framework. It's similar like Ruby is on Rails. And usually we use the Symfony Framework to develop our internal systems such as a customer portal and some network monitoring system running on Symfony. The reason we choose Symfony is because I'll explain later. Why do we need to use a framework? Basically, framework will speed up the application development. Because you can see just now, one of the speakers present that you use Rails can build a website in 15 minutes, right? Actually, in PHP you also can do that. And actually, easy to maintain as well. And when you're using framework, right, your code are more structured. That means that you won't have 1,000 lines of code lying anywhere. And after that, it's very hard for you to maintain. And we also, as a programmer and all that, also emphasize on code cleanliness, because you should write your code as clean as possible. And after that, we're talking about scalability. When you write an application, usually you start from small. When it grows, right, you need some sort of way to scale it in a very faster way. And this framework is using an object-oriented orientation way, which means the code that you use, you written before you can reuse the code. And also about agile development, that means that you have to follow some sort of software development cycle when you're writing some applications. And framework is running on an MVC pattern. That means it separates the model, the view, and the controller. Okay, there are a couple of PHP framework, like one of our friends mentioned here is Kohana, right? And actually, why we choose Symfony, there are a couple of reasons. It supports complex application development, and also as Symfony framework actually is based on some other framework like Mojave, Prado, Rails, and Django. Symfony is based on Rails templating system, and Django is based on the controller, how it's controlled the framework and all that. And Symfony really separate all the MVCs very clean, in a way it's very clean. And most of the things that you can configure, and you can have the flexibility to configure all the configurations. And using Symfony, you would write less code. What is the less code? Later I will show you on the demo. And with Symfony, there's other debugging tools that you can do unit testing to test your performance on your applications. Symfony is a quite popular framework in France, and you have the documentation part. You can go online to the website, right? You have a free definitive guide. Is an online ebook you can download. Is this one. We'll give you the overview of a Symfony framework from the start until the end. And all of the documentation support in English, Chinese, Italian, Japanese, and Vietnamese. And there are others great tutorials like ASCII is one of the web application demo. And there are also the cookbook, and Propel is a database object model that, and the API reference is you can all find it on the website. It's very, very useful. And it also supported by the huge community, and if you have any problem or what, you can ask in the forum or check in the wiki. And the best part is the snippets. Snippets is all the code that written by the programmer. You can browse it online as learning as you're learning through the Symfony Framework. And like usual, you have a mailing list, and you can refer to some other Symfony blogs, which mean all the Symfony bloggers, they blog about Symfony. This is the overview design of Symfony Framework, which means all the thing is separated. When you see on top all the controller, and bottom is all the plugins and all that. I wouldn't go into details on that because you guys will be bored. On the Symfony design, the model part is the library and the classes. When you generate a project, you automatically generate all the libraries. And the view part is the templates. That means you don't have to use a third-party templating system. It already has a template system. And the controller is the configurations that you can make some simple routing and some database setting on the configuration files. And all the modules, all the application is separate by the modules and the actions. What is a module and an action, I will show you later. And using Symfony is very restrictive. That means like only some part of the folder unit can do a code, and some part of the folder unit can do templates. And I will also show you later how to generate the default classes, libraries, and model. Okay, Symfony support MySQL and Postgres database. Using Propel as default is object row modeling, and I will show you what is Propel later. And Doctrine is also supported in Symfony, and you are not required to use a third-party or external ORM. Symfony itself already using Propel. Talking about speed and performance. By default, Symfony already supports caching. You can cache on the page or the function or the query. And you can use others plugins like opcode, memcache, and Zen to do your caching on your applications. And there are some plugins. It's called the SF View Cache Manager. Is a cache management, which give you an easier way to manage your caching on all your applications. And Symfony by default, it comes with a lot of modules. If you are not required any modules, you can just disable it or enable it, because it's quite flexible. The plugin on database you can disable or enable it just in the configuration file. And you also have a templating system. It's quite easy to manage, and it's separate in a very clear view. And all the website routing, like you want to route to which page and do the routing to the like 404 page and all that, you can all configure on the configuration files. And you also can do a SEO friendly URL, such as usually you see URL with article with a number at the back, when you can use the configuration file to custom the URL. And you can use Symfony to develop your software or application in development environment. I will show you what is development environment, which means you can see a lot of details and errors and what library is used and all that. And from the development environment, you can analyze your database query, and also based on the login, you can see what is running and what is not running, and easy for troubleshooting as well. And there are a lot of plugins available for Symfony. People like to use the Ajax enable plugins, like you can use the jQuery, Dojo, or Yahoo user interface libraries. And you can even use your own plugin and share with the community, or you can reuse your plugin after that. And all the validation is quite simple to do, because you don't have to write a lot of code, like to validate the email address, the input and all that. You can use a YML file to do the validation. And it also supports some cool stuff like autocomplete. And the example is just one tag you will determine that the one is autocomplete form, and the draggable element is which you can drag and drop the element and all that. So are you guys ready for the demo? It's only the 15 minutes demo. Okay, I will use, as mentioned in my topic, do a simple address book. Before we're going to do the address book, right, so we create, you use a shortcut to create a database schema over here. Okay, let's start with creating a table. Can you guys see that? So we call a table called AB category, which is address book category. And we have a primary key and the category name. The created date, updated. And we use a very simple database type on this. Timestamp without time zone. So all of these fields are required. And the category name should be a unique key, and the ID should be primary key. And the next one is the addresses. So we have ID, and we will have address book. You require the full name and email address. Maybe you put the home address as well. Phone. After that, which is the category ID. Same thing, we separate that. And ID and full name and email address is required, updated, rated, and category. Okay, this is primary key. The name, the email address should be unique. So after we created these two databases, right, as you can see, the category should link to the database as the category name and all that. So from here we create a foreign key for the category ID. Based on the category key. Alright, that's all from creating the database. So now we'll go back to the Symfony. I've created a page called the COSCUP demo. And from this is the web folder. Obviously you won't see anything right now because there's nothing at the file, right? So we create a new Symfony project. It's called COSCUP demo. So when all this file, when you run this command, right, all this file is already created. And this is all the Symfony default files. So you still can't see anything because over the web folder, there's nothing inside there. There's no index file. Okay, so I will do some. Okay, this is a directory structures. You can see this is applications. Now, when you can create the front end and back end application, I will show you later how to create on there. And it is all the library that you use for the database structures and all that. So now we're going ahead with putting the database details. So I've created a database called COSCUP demo. This is a username and password. And we have to do it in Propel as well. We are running Postgres. sorry, I have to change over here. And you can use MySQL to do a similar thing as well. Username, password. Okay. Now you have already set, configured how Symfony can talk to the database. So from here, right, you can generate the database model and all the libraries. If you notice here, right, from the library part, you still don't see anything because we haven't generated anything. So we go ahead with creating the schema. We have a schema file over here, but it's blank. Because like in the actual way, you have to do the schema first. And after that, use the schema, generate the schema file, and then dump the database to create a table. So I do it the other way around for the quicker way. So we are not required for this schema file, so we can delete it. Move to trash. So there's no schema file over here. Run a command, profile, build schema. Sorry again. So here is how you create the schema. Oh, the password is wrong. Wait, let's go back and double check. Content. Create a schema again. Okay, from here you can see the propel is actually connected to the database to create a schema file. So we come back to here, you can see the schema file is created. This is all the database structures that you're supposed to do before you create the schema file. So you can link everything and show everything over here. See the like integer, which is the auto increment stuff and all that. So now you have the schema file. It's time you can build the database model. So we will go ahead with propel build model. So the propel build model will build all the model and the library for your database. So you see library now, you can see all the models is over here. So we see the object model. Here is the generated file and show you how to connect it to the database to query the field. And when you want to do query or selection, you will actually call this library. Okay. So now we have built the database and also the object model. We go ahead and build the page. Building the page is quite simple as well. You just do Symfony, let me think. Symfony app. Call the page called front end. So from the application part, you generate a category. The site is called front end, which is this front end will hold all the front end file. We will call index.php. So I refresh this page. So the project is created. So it's actually index.php file. So you come to over here. You can see the index file is actually calling the application is called front end, and this is the production environment. And by default, it created the development environment as well over here. So we just access to the file. So this is development environment where you can see you can do troubleshooting and see all the queries over here. So there's nothing much right now, so we will skip this. Go ahead creating the module. So you just remember that front end is just a PHP file. It's called front end over here. So from that page, right, you can actually extend to different modules like categories modules, addresses modules. I'll show you an example here. So we'll create the new modules on front end. It's called category. So come over here, you see there's a category page is created. Oops. Spelling error. Category. So this module category has been created. So similar thing, you can go to create addresses, which we will use later. So after you created all this, right, you can see, you extend further, you can go to modules, you can see the addresses modules and the category modules. So from here you can see the template, the config file and the action file. So here is all the file that where you should write your code, and some of the place you shouldn't write your code. Okay, we'll go further. Okay, I will show you some demo. By default, when you go to the addresses, you redirect. You actually do a forward to a default module, so we will show the Symfony default page. So we remove this line. We call the index access template. So when you refresh, oh, by the way, Symfony do caching on this, so we have to clear cache. Addresses. Wrong spelling again. Triple D. So you can see that is a page. So it's actually separate. This is the part where you should write a code, action, and you can start writing your code over here and pass the thing over here. Let's say we do something like this. You can, from the template file, to call the hello world. Action. So it will display hello world words. Okay. This is the thing that you can play around with Symfony, and I will go further to generate the admin page where you can do the data entries and all that. So there's another module. It's something called Propel Generate Crude. We do it on the front end, and the module will call address. Just now we have triple D, and the address should come from the address book, address table. Is it address table? Addresses table. Okay, so now you go to the page, you can see there's an admin panel over here. So from here, the address, you can, when you run the command, you auto generate all the template over here. This is the place where you write code actions to key in the data into the database and all that. This is an auto generated page. So from here, this is as you can see, I'm coming to the addresses page, so I can list addresses. You can make the changes from here, and all the changes are made over here. So you create another pages called category, address book category. So this is the page. So we start to create a new data category names called business. Okay, it's quite fast. And the new one called Taiwan Mei. So my address book will have business and Taiwan Mei. So from here, the category is already created. So we want to go back to the address book. So I don't want to navigate through the URL, so I try to add a link on the template. So from here, there's a global template. So this is all the content for, so I will do a URL over here. Link to, it's called category. And address book, addresses. So this is a global template file. When you start to refresh the page, you can see the link is on top. But I haven't echoed it. So you can see the link is on top. It's a global template. So you can go to addresses and go to categories. This is how useful the template is. So we go to address to create a new entry. So this guy contacted me. Some dummy data over here. So category is 1. So I don't know what is 1. So never mind. We can go to the library again. We want to convert the print 1 to the category name instead of display of 1. So if you want to do this kind of stuff, I believe the programmer over here, you know that you need to go to database to do a select query. After that, echo the result and print the result and then put the result on the page. Well, with Symfony, there's a library over here, is the category library. You can just write a simple function to display the category ID as a name. So, I want to return the category name. This return. Oh, there's some errors. Define property. Never mind, we skip this. I can't remember the name over here. So from here you can see the one of the address over here. So this is the category ID is 1. I also want to change that to the name. So we go to the category, the addresses is over here. So this is where you list. So get category and get cat name. Sorry. There's some wrong code over here. Okay, never mind, give me 1 minute. I will refer back to my code. Sorry about it. sorry about that. I think we'll skip that. Actually, it's the similar thing. You can just call the library and it will actually display the category name. Okay. Who else uses Symfony? Yahoo Answer and Yahoo Bookmark is using Symfony, and such as Delicious Bookmark is also using Symfony Framework. And recently, Dailymotion also switching to the Symfony Framework. And we use a Symfony Framework to develop our CRM system, customer portal, internet portal, and all that. That's it. Any questions? 有没有问题？
我们现场开放一个问题好不好？一个问题就好。因为我们时间已经超过蛮多了，还没有人有问题，还是？
我想请问就是这个 framework 跟那个 PHP 的比较上，你们选择这个 framework 的考量是？
跟哪一个 framework？ 对不起，听不懂。
跟 Cat framework。
Cake PHP， OK，actually， 其实有些人用 Cake PHP 不用 Symfony， 是因为刚才你可以看到 Symfony 方面的就是打许多 command， 就是说你必须要有Unix 的那个 command line framework，so 你才可以用到那些 Symfony framework。有些人用 Cake PHP 是因为你不需要再打那些 command， 再整理那些 file。其实是以个人而定，你可以用 Symfony 或者是用 Cake PHP， 只是用 framework 是最好，因为你不用每天那么多 code。还有吗？谢谢。